Hello, everyone, and welcome to the EGF semifinals of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I'm Soy. Joining me is Cheryl. Cheryl, how's it going?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Soy?
I am doing fantastic. We just saw DePaul take down Colorado in the other semifinal, so they have booked their ticket to grand finals, and this is the other semifinal. We have Siena, the defending MAC champions and the defending champions of the EGF, going up against one of the flashiest teams, Mississippi State University, that 3 versus 2 seed. As you see the bracket here, here's another look at all of those results, and of course updated that DePaul has defeated Colorado, so this should be a very fun matchup to say the least.
Absolutely. I'm so excited to see this match. Our first person from Siena is going to be Pango, and from Mississippi is going to be El Jeffe.
Yeah, two kind of staple names to the roster. Pango, we've seen time and time again. I think ever since the update dropped, he has been on this Minecraft Steve, and he has looked very good in the past. El Jeffe, we've seen him mostly go Wolf, but occasionally we've seen Ganondorf once or twice. I have here in my notes, so we'll have to wait and see. Most likely the Wolf coming out here, but again, this is a big match for both of these teams. The winner is on to the grand finals against DePaul, so let's get this underway. El Jeffe on the Wolf and Pango for Siena on the Minecraft Steve.
Of course, to a classic stage, PS2. Now we're just seeing them play.
Yeah, always a kind of an interesting start. I always feel like Pango, especially on Minecraft Steve, he kind of is the player who likes to dictate the pace, setting up those blocks, setting up those projectiles, and obviously he wants to, farm those materials, but immediately El Jeffe kind of pushing him to the corner.
And I've seen Pango play a bunch of times, and he uses those blocks so efficiently and doesn't approach too dangerously, always approaching with minecart, as we've seen right here.
And a quick follow-up too evens up that percent count, and I would say stage control is typically one of the more important things to look at here, but Pango just not afraid to kind of give it up and play around these corners.
Absolutely. And as we mentioned before, Pango has been doing so well with dictating pacing and the momentum of this game, but El Jeffe is really doing great with adding pressure, and honestly, their percents are relatively equal for the time being.
Ooh, El Jeffe now trapped in the corner here, does manage to make it back and gets the grab on the miscue there from Pango. As he get back to stage, that up B just so hard to really track down, and the cart will take the first stock.
Honestly, I feel like that's like a Pango classic. Stay away from the minecart. Be sure to know how to approach appropriately, because Pango will come at you with that minecart.
Just barely surviving that up smash, and that's going to be something for El Jeffe to watch throughout this set, is can he find Pango's landings, and right there finds another up smash, and that stock is eliminated, so right back to even.
We're definitely going to be seeing El Jeffe use up smash more, considering he was able to use it 3 times.
And one of the better moves at catching those landing options, especially with Pango in the air, and just punishing Pango too. I mean, look at it, was dead even moments ago, and now 92% on Pango. Can't quite get the minecart follow-up, but diamond equipment on deck now. Even up that percent at least a little bit. Still quite the deficit off the start here, but can be quickly made back up off that back air.
And now we know how Pango uses his minecart, and El Jeffe is super aware of it. And right now we've been seeing Pango use the minecart differently, not as a way so El Jeffe can get trapped in it, but just to bring himself a little bit closer.
Ooh, that could have been dangerous. You could tell Pango wanted the follow-up off of the mash out of the minecart, but just couldn't quite space it. And we've seen El Jeffe and Pango go for a couple of those down smashes at ledge, see if they can clip their recoveries, but no dice so far.
And you can see El Jeffe using up smashes, although they are correct. The way he's doing them is correct. Wolf's up smash is a little slow, but not catching the recovery, and that'll cost the stock.
Back air to answer, so dead even as we enter the final stock here of game number 1. Remember, the point system, we'll go over it, but right now, the winner of this particular match could only get a point on the board for their team. Both kind of dancing around in neutral once more. 70, make that 80% difference now. Has to play so careful around the ledge. Good back there to kind of reset the scenario and gets the TNT off the board, but El Jeffe sitting at practically kill percent.
You know, as we've seen before, these two, Pango is so good with setting up all these moves with Steve. Oh, getting the mine card, and you know that's gonna take the stock.
Solid play from Pango there, and I love how I'm not 100% sure how the minecart works, but he was able to just kind of slow it down in the air, or maybe it was something about the momentum of it. But the fact that really El Jeffe didn't get immediately dragged off stage, just so the cart just doesn't have any speed, allows for that follow-up. So good stuff to Pango here to clean that up. And you see what I'm talking about, through the air, just there's no momentum to carry him off stage, and Pango quickly realizes, gets that forward smash out in time. So with that, Pango gets game number 1, gets a point on the board for his team. And actually, Sho, do you mind explaining the point system just in case we've got some new viewers here?
Absolutely. So the point system isn't like the usual crew battle, but the difference of points is going to be how the team gets points. Okay. It's a little confusing unless I illustrate it. So now we saw Pango having 1 stock left against El Jeffe, so he's gonna get 1 point. So, but let's say Pango has 2 stocks left, then he's gonna have 2 points. The other team, El Jeffe or Mississippi, isn't gonna get any points with that. If they win the set, if they win 2 out of 3 games, they're gonna get an extra 2 points. So the most amount of points a person can get is 6. No, 8.
No, you're absolutely. It's kind of confusing to describe, but it makes sense the first time you see it through. So, Siena, they've got that first point on the board. Basically, I think the simplest way of describing it is you get as many points as you have stocks remaining, and then you get a bonus 2 for winning your set. That's the simplest way I can think of describing it. But regardless, game number 2 here. This is Town and City for El Jeffe's counter pick, and we'll have to see. I feel like really the story of that first game was Pango got off to an early lead, kind of controlled the pace of the game, and El Jeffe, once he got in, he could do a ton of percentage, but just couldn't quite find those kill confirms.
And we saw El Jeffe try to go for an up smash, and although the up smash worked perfectly fine in the previous game, he can't just throw it out randomly. And wow, that was mean. So early into the game, minecart already taking a stock.
That was shockingly early. I mean, only 30% off Pango on his first stock, and El Jeffe already down 1. So a big lead for Siena here in game 2. Nearly a dangerous follow-up, but the side B back to ledge. And El Jeffe, he's got to play so careful around these corners.
Every single time Pango does the setup or something with the blocks, I get more and more surprised. We glossed over it earlier, but in the beginning of Alpha's second stock, he did the minecart and he bounced back from the blocks and then went for another aerial. And I was like, wow, Pango really knows how to play this character.
Certainly a lot of time spent in the lab on this one. That's an up smash. That's going to be the stock, and all of a sudden, it's 3-1 and only 60% on Pango.
Pango was able to realize how El Jeffe came from the air, tried to... Sorry, my mic cut out. But El Jeffe always tried to come from the air, and Pango was able to catch it with that up smash earlier.
Now Pango, he's sitting at near kill percent, but buying so much time with those blocks, and it really does feel like El Jeffe is struggling to get around those. Eventually just dash attacks through and is able to clean up stock number 1, but again, Pango still 2 on the board. Diamond equipment still in his inventory, and gold if need be, but El Jeffe sitting at 60%. Has to play so careful here. hit off stage once more, playing around the corner, gets hit by the cart. Does he have a way back? He's blocked for the moment, but does stall out just long enough, and now a quick combo to kind of reset the scenario.
Just both of them staying away from each other, trying not to get too close. Of course, Pango, whenever he wants to mine and get more equipment to his arsenal, he'll always throw out some blocks. And wow, that's really good F smash on Pango. That really sleek spot dodge and F smash.
I don't know if that was a read or not, but anyway, credit where credit's due. Pango sealing up this game. Here's another look at it. Gets that spot dodge past the dash attack and just reads the misplaced or misspaced dash attack and punishes accordingly. So Pango with a 2-stock victory in game number 2, put another 2 points on the board, +2 for winning his set, means it is 5-0. Siena over top of Mississippi State here in game number 1. And a little tidbit of information for you. These two teams have actually played before. It was way back in week 14 of the regular season, and it was lopsided. It was a final score of 27-2. Siena lost that match to Mississippi State. And while the rosters might have been slightly different, just a few more bench players it looked like on both sides, not as many typical names, Siena failed to take a single set in that match. So for them to take a set here is a massive leap from where they last left off.
Absolutely.